Hey guys, it's the Cockney Buddha, and here I am with the Getting It Real with Cockney Buddha. This one's kind of wrapped round an event that happened yesterday, actually. It was a great bonding day with my wife. I really enjoyed it. But there was also some tests in there, and I wanted to share that because I think it'll help somebody out there. Everything that's given to us is a lesson, guys, and that's exactly pretty much what happened to me yesterday. You're always going to get thrown those curveballs, guys, and there's some things you can do about that. I've got my incense burning and I've got the old Rosie Lee beside me, my old tea, so I'm ready to go. I hope you got yourself a nice drink. Sit down and have a listen, because I think this is going to be funny, and at the same time you're going to get some lessons as well, guys. When I have the experience myself and I start figuring out how I'm managing to do it, it's exactly what I use to teach others. So sit down, relax, tune in, guys. So like I say, this is based around actually a funny, quite a cool and funny day as well, because I mean, it was pretty much, and you know, it ended really well as well. But again, you know, I'm not going to put negatives on what happened because I didn't use it as a negative, even though it was. But well, I say that it turned out okay, I guess. But anyway, my cell phone has been the port part of it, where you plug your charger into, right at the bottom there, or wherever it is on the bottom of mine. I think it is on most. Well, that that thing has been bad on me for, I don't know, a few months probably, and thank God I had one. I've got one of those chargers also where you can just throw it on there and it, you know, it does it wirelessly. Thank God, because I was able to keep my phone charged up. But you know, I went into, oh no, if I'm to take this in and get this fixed, right? You probably know where I'm going with this, guys, right? All the stuff that you got on your phones and we take for granted, and we're not really, you know, until something like this comes up, we know our bases that we don't really want to lose, like especially with me, with my calendar, which is what comes into this story towards the end. But yeah, I started thinking of all the different apps that you just you take for granted. And so yeah, I went a long time without even thinking about getting the phone fixed. Even I'm like, missing out on some things too, because I want to be able to start flying a drone again, and I've got to plug it into the bottom there, and without that, it's like, you know, you ain't really got a screen to see what you're looking at. So it came to D-Day yesterday. I mean, it's, you know, the story behind it is my wife actually got a hold of the company. I'm not going to mention the name of the company, but they're probably the same across the board. But anyway, she gets a hold of the company, and then the company's saying, oh yeah, we give you a refurbished phone. And I'm thinking, hang on a minute, I didn't break this bloody thing. It was obviously a dodgy port, but you're paying for insurance, and it does my head in. It does my head in, because I got upset even from that, because it's like, well, you know, you should be ponying up and give me a new phone. the amount of money you pay for them, and I haven't done anything with it. I haven't hurt it, right? So, and you pay for the bloody insurance. It's like, yeah, I think there should be some clauses in here that go for the people, to tell you the truth, right? So I've already got this bloody negative kind of thing about it, right? I've labelled it already, right? The phone, negative. and not negative in a good way. Like putting the phone down, which I'm realizing now after I thought about all the shit I was gonna like. Oh no, what happens with the transfer? Because they got to transfer it all over, and I so anyway, I had that going on, and Saturday morning rolls around. That's when we booked the appointment for. And my wife is the techie one. You know, they can pull the wool over my eyes, like, you know what I mean? But they ain't pulling the wool over my wife's eyes when it comes to techie shit and computers and stuff like that and how all that works. I mean, they could say, oh, yeah, you haven't got the bloody green polka dot pink button. And I'll be like, oh, what's that? Oh, okay then. And believe it, right? I'm that guy. So anyway, we 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 leave the house and we get in the car. I'm feeling good. I've been on my shit this week. I've been getting out there walking every morning, early morning. It's been nice and chilly out, and obviously not as cold as a lot of places, but you know, for Florida, cold. And I've been getting out in shorts and t-shirt, and you know, doing the cold work and that. So Saturday morning, you know, comes around, feeling sweet as, and you know, me wife's like, okay, let's get out of here, like, get in the motor, and we we had to go to. I just remember this. We had to go to the UPS store first, which is just down our. It's not far down the road, but it's got this kind of a. It's not your typical huge parking lot that we have here. It's a small, one of the smaller ones. There's a few restaurants like a pizza place, an Italian gaff, and anyway. So we realised which way it was going to kind of go with the traffic and shit when we pulled into this parking lot, and it was chaos. There was a Jag SUV sitting there in front of us, right? Yeah, there's a few there's a few nickels there, right? And there was a car we're watching to the left, backing out, and I'm like, oi, oi, and the woman is like looking right at us, who's driving the car backing out, and I'm giving it like, you know, my wife's like, what, and the Jag is just sitting there. I don't even know if they knew, whoever it was in the car, what was really going on, because, and then all of a sudden, thank God, the lady that was driving the first car backing out must have seen what was going on or something, and she's banged on the brakes, and I think the lady that was, I think it was the lady, she was, yeah, because I remember when she turned, I think I saw her, and I think she was driving the bloody Jag. The SUV Jag. I didn't even realise bloody Jag made an SUV. How sad is that, right? And I remember making comment, funny enough, when we came in behind it and saying to my wife, blimey, here's a few coins, like, you know, with the with the Jag SUV. And anyway, the Jag starts pulling away, thank God. And then the other person pulls out, and they take off, and we're coming in, and all of a sudden there's a space, and my wife's like, I'm going to bung it over here, and you start like, take a breath, because it was chaos, absolute chaos. So get the old, you know, UPS thing sorted out, and we pull out of there. We're going down by a supermarket now, and there's this car starts kind of coming at us a bit, and I'm like, what is going on? It was busy as hell. But my wife and I are just, you know, we don't have many moments when we could just get out on our own, and I know it's shopping, but we was having like a bit of fun with it and all, because it was just hilarious what was going on. And we start, you know, we're bonding, you know, it's all those moments of bonding and staying present with that person that you're with. And, you know, I've been married to my wife 30 years the end of this year. So it's, you know, to have some bonding moments now, it's really cool. And we were both in we were in a decent headspace, we're laughing and everything. And, and then we had to pull out onto the main road to like shoot down the road. And as she as she comes up to the road, I'm gonna throw the video up on my YouTube because it's quite funny, and it backs this story up. But she turns to me and she goes, well, I goes, well, so what's the score then? So she goes, well, we're going to go to the car wash. And of course, I turn into a little kid, you know. Oh, goody! We're going to a car wash. I don't know about you guys, but I like a car wash. I don't know what it is about a bloody car wash. I'll tell you what, as soon as my wife says we're going to go through the car wash, I'm like, oh, love it. Yeah, man. Car wash, really? So we're on the way. Like we get on the main stretch, and we're barreling down the road there, and then all of a sudden my wife goes, "Oh, I've got to pop in Aldi." No, please, no. Oh boy. Yeah, Aldi supermarket. Oh man, and we've just gone through the bloody car park area fiasco, and the fella coming. I'm like, oh, really? So we shoot across. And my wife goes, "You can stay in the car if you want." I'm like, "Yeah, bingo, lollipop. I'm game on." Yeah, because she says, "I'm only going to go and grab. I think it was like onions or something." I'm like, "All right, bingo, lollipop. Grab me phone, right?" Oh, what? And then I started laughing my arse off because I saw her come round the back of this car, and all she's got is this bag of onions that hanging down, and I'm laughing. She gets in the car. She goes, "What are you laughing at?" And I said, "You look like a little Italian lady coming round the corner with grabbing your onions," because I knew she was cooking up onions in there. Oh dear me! But and she is part Italian, by the way. She's Italian, Polish, and Ukrainian Russian. So, but anyway, so a good bonding experience, right? And Aldi's one of those places. It's I know, they probably have them all over the bloody place. I don't know whether they're around the world or what, but they're all over the place here. And then we get into the mobile shop, and I sit down on the bench. Again, my missus was sorting out like what had to be done and all that. And there was a lovely, lovely young lady in there that was helping us out, and finds out that her what was it? It was her dad that was Cuban and her mum was Colombian, and my wife's best friend is Colombian, and I've got mates that are Colombian and clients that are Colombian. I mean it, right? And all that culture and the mixing of so we just get talking, and she's like, "Where are you from?" And I told her. So she goes, I look. She goes, "Oh, I'm Colombian and Cuban." I went, "Wow." And so we call straight onto the subject of food. We start talking about. I'm like, what's the dishes that you guys have, and we just got talking about the culture and everything like that. It was awesome. It was a great chat. We was getting helped out really well. Really, you could tell she liked us. We liked her. Great relationship going on. Everything banging, right? And then she says, it's going to be like an hour and a half for the transfer. Well, that's my fault because I have videos and everything on there and photos up the yin yang that I don't transfer over and that. So I'm like, oh, because I'm that guy, right? Oh, boy. You know what? At that moment, you could see my wife turn around with the, no! When she looked at me. Ah, yeah. So when we came out, I said, "Oh, that's it." She goes, "Yeah, you don't." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." So anyway, so we're like, "Oh, well, let's just go shopping, can we?" And she's like, "Yeah, no problem." So we just, we peel out there. We go to a place called BJ's. If no one's heard of it, it's like a massive warehouse, like Sam's warehouse, massive warehouse place with everything in there. We get our, paper towels and toilet paper and all that kind of stuff in there. Like they got bulk spices and that in there. If you want your basic stuff, like for bulk spices, they have some off the wall stuff here and there. But it's a good place. But anyway, me with technology again, we grab all this stuff that we needed. We got it all in the cart, like, washing detergent, laundry detergent, all kinds of stuff. And my wife grabs her phone and she starts, going around the barcodes, bip, bip. And I'm like, what the heck's going on there? So I'm like, what are you doing? So she's like, oh yeah, you can do this now. You can you can go around your cart and you do your own barcode. And I'm like, can you pay like right here? Oh yeah. And I'm like, what? So I was like this. I was like this kid in a bloody sweet shop, and I remember talking to my mate once. We was hanging out and listening to music, and he kept naming all this music and bands, and I'm like, what are you doing? Because I kept on seeing all his phone up. And he says Shazam, and I'd never heard of it. And I'm like, Shazam? And it'd already been around for about 5 years. And my mate's scratching his head going, are you sure or what? Right? Yeah, I'm that guy. So anyway, I had a bit of a learning experience in there in BJ's, because all we had to do was walk up to the door at that point and be ticked off and bye, see you later. I'm like, bloody hell, I remember when we had to be in like crazy lines and everything. And then we come from there, and we went to my wife likes like the dollar, whatever, $1.25 here, $1.25 here. In this place anyway, but like the dollar store, and she's like, oh, I want to go in the $1.25 store, and I'm like, oh no, because my wife is a huge, like she loves crafting. She watches all the bloody programs on crafting. She doesn't get to do too much of it right now because of a busy job and everything, but she's, when she gets going and she gets crafting, she really enjoys it. And now we're walking into a store that's like her Disneyland, and it's cheap. Oh mate, and I'm like, how much time have we got? Like on the, oh no, it's all right. We're gonna get the car washed as well, and all right. And cool. So I ended up, because I want to get back into painting. Really good friend of mine got me an artist set with acrylic paint and some brushes and that a while ago, and I got into a bit of painting, and then I kind of let it sit by the side, but I'm going to get back into it. So you could pick up like, the cheap canvases, stretch canvases in there for $1.25, right? So we go up to the counter. This is kind of funny. We go up to the counter, and one of the pieces that my wife's got didn't have a barcode thing on it, because we're in the self-checkout, and she calls over to the lady and says, excuse me, there's no barcode on this. So the lady says, well, just scan one of the others, because everything's $1.25, isn't it? So they're like, just scan it. And I'm standing there, and I'm like, oh, hang on a minute. And I just start laughing, right? So another bit of a laugh. But anyway, so, and then, I'm looking at what my wife's bought, and she's got these organisers, different bits of things to organise stuff. But she's got the bigger organiser with all the organisers that she's put into it to carry it. And I'm like, why have you got an organiser for your organisers? Oh, dear me. But, and then, so we come out of there, and then it was car wash time, and I'm like, what? So we go to the car wash again. I'll put a video up on YouTube on my channel. If you go and check out Cockney Buddha, go and look me up. I've got a channel out there that's all based around what I do on this podcast, and I talk about different subjects, and I pretty much drop a video every Friday and some through the week sometimes. So go and give me a like, subscribe out there, guys, please, if you would. That'd be great. It helps the analytics, helps it get it to other people. And thank you. I really do appreciate that. But anyway, so we do the car wash thing, which I'm happier than a pig in shit, mate. I'm like, right. I'm like, I love a car wash. So we come out then we had to go back to the mobile shop because it should be all done there, all sorted out. So into the mobile shop, and this is where the teachings start coming in, guys, because it wasn't the same experience as when we left it. First of all, we opened the door and it looked like, I don't know what happened. It was packed, and there was hardly anybody in there when we were in there. And they had music banging, and it was really cool experience. And now it's just this. It looked like organised chaos, but I'm not sure whether it was even really organised. But it was crazy in there. So we walk up, and we know where my phone and that was because it was in like this centre area, and they'd put it in the drawer to keep it all like safe and sound. And so I'm sitting right there. My wife goes, "You want to go and sit down?" So I sit down, and I'm sitting there, and we see one fella, who worked there, come up, and he's like, I think he like yanked my phone out or something after we'd just been told, it's a couple of minutes, because the young girl that helped us before, she came up, saw us, checked, and she goes, "You got a couple of minutes." We're like, "Oh, sweet." We turned up just at the right time. Sweet as. But and then it started going a little bit wrong. Because all the fears that I had that was wrapped around, oh no, the transfer bit, it worries me. Because it's like, what am I going to lose? And we're so, a lesson learned, guys, seriously. We're so attached to that phone. Holy shit, are we attached? And I've got a lot of, my calendar. That was one of them. I'm thinking, my calendar. And then you start running through, you trying to run through, I should say, your calendar in your head. Like, who you got when, and I've got clients all lined up on there, and it's like, blimey, and you're trying to, and you go into that, right? So I had that leading up to it, and then somebody else came and helped us, and I automatically can see that the whole attitude was completely opposite of what we had the experience of before earlier. Right? I'm already seeing it. And I'm a happy-go-lucky guy. I pull my spirituality around with me. I mean, I wear it like a badge. I really do. I mean, it's something that I follow that I absolutely love. It rings bells with me. It speaks. It's a whole experience and journey. It's where it got me where I'm at now. So, I love everybody. But if all of a sudden I'm gonna cop a little bit of an attitude, or the feeling that I'm like taking up your time, like I was getting from this vibe, it was this whole attitude of like not really wanting to be there, kind of like offish, not much in the way of the smile department, and I'll give everybody a big old smile and hello, right? It's why I love the first experience with the first girl. I wish I got her name, because I'd definitely give her a shout out. I'll tell you what. Because she was cool as shit, and really gave us the time and all that, and smiling, yeah, this was not that at all. And then what really started getting in the way, and I want to say they do get in the way, because it's experiences that if our mind attaches to it the wrong way, it's gonna get in the way. So there I am sitting there, and my wife turns around and she goes, "Oh, where they are?" And I see the phones up there side by side. Remember, guys, as well, it's, I'm not too happy at the fact that, why ain't it a new phone, like clean out the box? I mean, my phone ain't that old either. So I go up, and believe me, I've had experiences with reconditioned phones in the years in the past where all of a sudden I was getting called by different numbers because I guess I still had someone's number, and I don't know, but I was getting crazy. Um, so and then my wife says, bless her heart, mate. She was she. I tell you what, she's a diamond, mate. I come up. She goes, "Come and check, see if you got all your shit." The phones were there side by side, and I can already tell, the attitude I'm copping. Not from my wife, from the person that's helping us out, or supposed to be helping us out. So I go up, and I'm already feeling like I'm an inconvenience, right? I'm already picking up on this. Why am I feeling inconvenient? Like me, I'm the problem or something. So I go up and I'm looking. I'm getting a little worried, and I'm looking at my stuff, and I'm already seeing, because it's still kind of downloading and updating and that. But my mind's going, well, that ain't there, and that ain't there. And then we get to the calendar, and it ain't there at all. So all of a sudden, oh boy, right? So I like, because I was only sitting on the bench a few feet away. It wasn't that. I wasn't like down the other end of the store or out the site or nothing like that. I was right behind, right there. So I just went and sat down on the bench, because I can already feel myself becoming frustrated with the whole experience. Right, the whole experience was just becoming frustrating, and so the normal thing is old me would have started tripping out and probably giving it some large, right? And so I just go and I sit down, I straighten my back, I get my hands in a position in my lap, to where in like, I don't know what they call it, but I call it Buddha style, where you put your right thumb over your left, and you like cup, and you just lay it in your lap, and I didn't worry about anybody around me. I closed my eyes and I started meditating. I started pulling myself to my breath. I started to tell myself that if this calendar, the worst case scenario, if this calendar is completely and utterly just messed up, I will get hold of each client, or I'll get hold of my therapist, because she has my schedule too, because I tag her in. I can get it from her. I could have got it from my wife, because I tag her in so she knows my schedule. So I probably could, but we automatically go into that area of, oh shit. And as soon as you go there, you can't think of all those pieces. So I put my mind there first of all, and I thought, okay, just calm the breath down, start slowing the breath down. And then I tuned into sound and started just tuning in to what was going on around me. Sound-wise, which one thing came to mind, which was really strange, because I took the labels off. I didn't listen to people. I was just listening to sound, and I'm sitting there meditating, guys. I'm not kidding. Eyes shut, breathing, and it sounded like the ocean. It was really strange. It had this kind of. It was weird. It had this really. It was like, oh, I remember thinking, oh, it sounds like waves coming up on a beach, because it was like kind of moving in and out, and then you could hear, I even told my wife before all this started, and I was saying, tune into the sound, because she was getting a little bit antsy, and I'm like, just think about the sound, and she was hearing it as well, and I'm like, now tune into something, because you can always pick a bit out. Like if you get into a meditation state like this, where you just want to shut down, close your eyes, tune into sound. If there's a lot going on, it's even better, believe it or not, because yes, as a one, it all sounds like just one big whooshy, you can hear it moving, there's an energy to it. But and if you can tune your mind to start picking out certain things, and if you narrow your mind into that, it's like focusing in and making it bigger. And all of a sudden, you might start be able to tune in a little better to that sound with the other chaos going on around it. So I just tuned into sound, and it pulled me. It started to pull me round. It works. Starting to pull me around, slowing the breath down, making sure I'm breathing okay. That was the first point of call. Slow that down. And then I went back up looking at it. The guy, one of the other fellas, grabbed hold of the phone and he's like, "Oh, you got Google Calendar," and he got it on there, which, you know, I don't use that one. I'm not really into that one, to tell you the truth. It's probably a better one. Everybody's probably screaming, "That's a better one." But I'm used to this one calendar, and I know how it works. And I didn't really, I'm like, you know, I don't really want to relearn all that. I want to do what I know, which turns out that's back on there now. So when I went up there, now I'm finding there's like apps missing and things like that. Now I'm even though I've meditated, thank God I did, because it brought me onto the level. And because I felt myself, became aware that I'm starting to become more frustrated now. I'm getting the brush off kind of not wanting to help me kind of feeling. So that's winding me up a little bit. And I'm thinking, this ain't going nowhere. I'm done. It's split. I had that kind of thoughts going on. But what I did was I walked up to my wife and I said, "I've got to step outside for a bit." And she knew what that meant, because I was starting to get there and I didn't want to go there. And if I would have stayed there, I would have started to escalate. And, you know, it's having the awareness of that. It's having the awareness of, you know, you're only going to tolerate so much, right? You know, I'm not a monk, right? But I'm sure even monks can only take so much. You know, the fact that I did that meditation, the fact that I did tune in, the fact that I really brought down the whole feeling of that, or the whole emotion of that, by tuning into my own emotions and what's going on here and why, and, you know, where things may be coming from, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It enabled me to be able to go up and say to my wife, "I'm just going to step outside a bit," instead of going into what I normally would have gone into. So I stepped out. My wife was probably about another 40 minutes in there, God bless her. She was, but she said she grabbed a hold of a guy, which I don't know why they didn't do this in the first place, but apparently there's a guy, and I got a Samsung phone, and he's like the Samsung expert. And I'm thinking, well, why wouldn't you have someone that done? Anyway, but anyway, guys, I just wanted to share that with you, because you can do this. And when I ended up just stepping outside the shop, I actually walked over towards the main road and started tuning into sound again, and looking at the cars and looking at the colours of cars and how many of one colour I can find, and when they were pulling up, all the different styles of cars. And then I went into, blimey, all these people have got somewhere to go, or they're all going somewhere. They've all got homes to go to, hopefully, God willing. But, you know, it's tuning into some of that. And at one point, I'm like, blimey, you know, there's a few grand on this road right here, just this bit, right? Because all had to be paid for. It's all money driving around, right? It's literally money on wheels driving around there, right? Everybody has to own, you know, who owns a motor had to pay for that. So, it helps, because then that pulls your thinking away from what has been bothering you, which is the frustration and that you've just come from. And tune into yourself first. Know when things are starting to happen. Know when it's like, oh, I'm kind of feeling that, like I did, and go and sit down and like, okay, let's zone out here a little bit. I've even been in situations, guys, where I'm, it might be just me there, and I'll start just breathing, just starting to bring my breath down. But being aware of what the fault is your first point of call. What's the thinking? What's going on with the thinking? But a lot of the times we'll feel the emotion and then the body sensation, but the body sensation is probably already there because you've had the thought, and then you're going to have the body sensation, then you're going to have those emotions start kicking in, and before you know it, you're reacting to that. And it's putting gaps and breathing and slowing down and not worrying about, I wasn't worried about if anybody was watching me or anything. And the shop was like packed with people from all different walks of life and different ages, and I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna close my eyes, and I know my wife is over there. I know she's on it as well. Even though this is my phone, but just putting myself out. But I hope that helps, guys. I hope you're all having a decent Sunday. I know I've been having a good week and actually a good Sunday as well. Looking forward to a bit of work tomorrow. I do enjoy my job, guys. I really do. Go out there and show me some support, guys. Go to my YouTube channel and hit the old subscribe button. I've had a few subscribes lately, and it gets them analytics up and gets it out there to other people. It can land in someone's lap at the right time. So go out there and give me some love, guys. Give me some little bit of compassion on my side. Yeah, come on, guys. You know you can do it. Go out there and throw it around and help me out, yeah? And then I do these podcasts on a regular, so, I'm not sure how you do it, but, give me a like or whatever you do so that I show up in your headings, I guess. I've not been doing this that long, so I'm still learning. And it's only going to get better, guys, because we're going for it. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Much love and appreciation. Absolutely appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you.